So continuing on to the reporting and dashboards, these dashboards, as Steve touched on briefly, are all interactive. We can click into these dashboards, find out what we need. These reports are all customizable, and they're also wrapped in role-based access control. So as you start to go towards the piece of end user enablement, when a user logs in here, they won't see everybody's certificates. They're going to see the certificates that belong to them. And these reports are going to generate dynamically based on that information. And these reports can be designed for whatever you're looking for, whether it be around expiry, whether it be around issuance, and these can be exported in PDF, CSV, etc. And they can also be scheduled to be sent out, via email or Slack or Teams or whatever your notification method is chosen to be. As Steve mentioned, you can click on these. So if we take a look at the expiry report by month, and we click on the red portion here, it's going to show us all the certificates that were not auto-renewed in March via that chart. And then we can go into these specific certificates and drill down into each one individually to see what we have, and even do a renewal directly from here if that's what we choose to do. So another important point when talking about these graphs was another one that Steve had touched on during his talk, which is around the policy compliance. So beyond just managing certificates, we also want to help you manage your security around certificates themselves. We're seeing more and more, outages, security vulnerabilities that result from certificates. And a lot of times that's because of an old or expired certificate or a weak cipher set on a certificate or something to that effect. And that's where these compliance reports help us. We can actually go ahead and click into these compliance reports, as Steve mentioned, and we can get a little better view of what's outside of compliance. And these compliance policies are configurable, so you can decide what is compliant and what's not compliant for your particular organization. And where this helps is with older certificates that start falling out of compliance, and also with, folks, let's say, skirting the process, maybe not intentionally, not in a malicious way. You might have a developer that's trying to quickly get an application available and they self-sign or they use a third-party certificate in order to get that application presented. This is going to help expose some of those and let us see, what's out there that shouldn't be out there and how we can remediate it. In the case of this certificate, the policy states that we should have this metadata within the certificate, and we should be using SHA-512 as our hash function, but it's actually using SHA-256 and it's missing all the metadata. So that tells us that the certificate is out of compliance and we need to go and resolve that certificate. So looking at the reports, I mentioned they are customizable. You can do many, many different things with the reports within this tool. One of the examples that I have specifically is with a customer that was looking to remediate some older versions of TLS. They wanted to get rid of TLS 1 and 1.1. So we built this report for them that showed them all the TLS versions they had exposed on all their different endpoints and allowed them to start to identify where they needed to remediate. Then beyond that, our customer success team, which I'll talk about them briefly, our customer success team comes with the subscription to our product. They are strictly dedicated to making sure that you're successful. That is their whole job. There's a customer success engineer and a customer success manager that help with any types of projects or things you need to get done. In the particular case of this customer, they were looking to mitigate these older versions of TLS. So I helped them build this report so they could kind of scope their project. And then our customer success team took this report and made it actionable to where you could actually click within the report, choose the endpoints that you were looking to mitigate, and then run the correct functions to mitigate those endpoints down to only allow TLS 1.2. So, these functions are all very configurable, very, very specific to meeting the needs of specific organizations and being able to do so and not have to worry about doing it blindly. Our customer success team helps, get you there.